I'm going to do it in this WOTD, the Way of the Demon mission that has a fast boss, and I'm starting right from the bat because I want to be able to link this later. So I'm not going to be waiting for anybody to rock up. If you've rocked up late, then you'll just have to watch the video later. So the axe has a moveset that I think a lot of people have difficulty passing because it seems kind of crap when you first pick it up. It's got a very short range on everything that it does, and it's very easy to get sucked into the idea that you need to find the super OP ability and just focus on repeating that a lot. But I think that sells the axe short quite a lot. Before we start, I'm just going to describe my build so you can have some context. I am running a heavy tank ninja. That means that I have got extreme toughness. I've got 300 toughness. I don't think this is necessary. I have tested toughness, and I have worked out that the key damage that you take when you are hit, when you are not blocking, scales all the way up to the amount of toughness that I was able to get, which was 400. No matter how much toughness I added, I always got an effect. I did not get an extra effect, as far as I could tell, for not being stunned during attacks. So it is true that up from 200 toughness on, you don't really get any benefit in terms of resisting attacks, but it is not true that toughness has no effect after 200. It definitely has an effect. I just want to get that clear. So that's why I have toughness, because axes use quite a lot of stamina. The reason I have the swordsman set is because this key recovery by key pulse is huge. It is humongous. It is a game changer because I barely use any key, because I can key pulse and I key pulse everything. So the two pieces on the set that are due for dual swords I just basically ignore because I don't really care about the dual swords plus 10 damage. It doesn't matter, and the skill damage I don't give a damn about either. I've managed to get myself a Magatama. You don't need it. I only recently got it in the last week, and I've been running this thing since launch. You don't need my build either. The other one is, all of these accessories are purely up for preference. All of this stuff is purely up for preference. I just happen to like stealth, so I'm running a stealth character. Axe is really good for stealth. I'll explain a little bit about that later, but because part of explaining axe is going to be explaining how stealth works. So my axe has a number of things on it. One thing that I think is very important now that they have it is to get the parry disabled versus guarding enemy. Now this looks like it should mean that the enemy can't do the special parry animations against you like haze or water shadow. That's not how it works. How it works is that they can't deflect you when you hit them with a light attack, and that's very important for the axe. I'll explain that in a second. So don't worry about this guy. He's gone. I'm only using the axe in this mission. So we've got axes and well, let's get started. So the axe has got a fairly simple looking movement. You've got your light attacks, you've got your strong attacks. So this is your low stance. Right? You've got your medium attacks, and then you've got your strong attack in medium stance. Now, the interesting thing about the recovery on these two moves is that the medium strong attack is actually just as fast as the quick attack. So, and it also has sort of the same speed. So there really isn't a reason to use the medium attack, especially because it doesn't have a combo after it. Unless you happen to have your build set up for using quick attacks, I would recommend using strong attack in most cases for a few reasons. The other thing I would recommend is equipping Enko if you like to use the strong attacks. If you just happen to be the kind of person who likes medium stance, I would use Enko a lot because Enko boosts strong attacks. I use Kato because Kato boosts everything, so I don't have to think about it. It also gives me more ki, which is good. So my build is based on having lots of stamina so I can wear the Master Swordsman set and still have B agility. I think B agility is incredibly important for an axe. I have dexterity because I like ninjutsu. Specifically I like stealth, so I wanted to have all of my supper and catwalk scrolls and also have whatever other abilities I wanted as well. I really enjoy stealth in this game. But anyway, that doesn't mean I haven't had to do a ton of fighting, because there's a ton of fights where you simply can't stealth. The enemies just see you. So we're going to need these in this mission. I'm just going to quickly modify my moveset a bit. This isn't a setup I always use. I swap around my ninjutsu a lot since I have all of the ninjutsus, which is pretty handy. Now, I'm just going to equip what I was using. Let's see. One thing that I like to get when I'm running a heavy tank character is this, because it's really good for getting your always and talismans back. Another thing that's probably important, because you'll probably be going, how the hell did that happen, is I managed to get this recently. And what this does is, since I have 50 life, when I hit critical health, which is when your health is red, or any move that knocks me into critical health, makes me... what no guard break means is it's got nothing to do with actually blocking. It means guard break is when you are stunned. That is what guard break is. It is stunning. It is when you get staggered by a hit. I can't be staggered once I've hit critical health. And the buff is a buff that pops up on your bar and it lasts for a decent amount of time. So that's a very useful ability, and I was blown away by how powerful that was. But in any case, so with the axe... Oh, I haven't shown the high stats. You've got the high stats, you've got those 2 hits. Right. Strong attack for high stats. An important buff that they did to the axe in the last patch was they made it so that your high stance can be changed mid-hit. You can actually sort of, as you can see, you can more than 180 in between each hit. So it's fairly crazy. We've also got the medium. Sorry, that's not the medium. The mediums can also do this. They used to be sort of fixed, so you couldn't really change your direction, but they've completely fixed that in the last patch. So the the strong attacks for the axe have been massively buffed, and they're very useful. Now, one thing that I think is really important about axe is that you need to use every ability. There's a big idea that mad spinner builds are the only real way to use an axe, and there's the other one about Morninglord. That's all madness. It's mad spinner is undoubtedly powerful. You can absolutely make a build that trivializes the game, and that's not everything that there is in this game. That's just not very important in the game. Heaven and Earth is a really strong ability that everybody uses. Titanic Strength is a really strong ability that not everybody talks about, and they should, because it works in living weapon, and it does a lot of damage. So if you're a living weapon and you don't use Titanic Strength, you should be using Titanic Strength. I'll tell you that right now. Ignore the other abilities of the axe in living weapon. Tri-Spark is really good, but it's quite risky if you don't have a lot of health and armor. What's this one? Ah, yes, I don't use this one not that much. It is useful, but I'm not a parrier. I'm a more of a dodger. That's why I have B into it. Mid stance only, a frontal charge and full guard. This kind of has uses, but I find it difficult to really figure this one out. So I use Stone Mallet. And most people when they pick up Stone Mallet are probably confused because they try it out and they're like, what is this move? It doesn't really seem to work. And I'm about to show you right now. Actually, I can't because these are not what I thought they were. That's right, you don't get humans at the start here. Bugger. Well, anyway, I'll just explain it. Morninglord is, you are in medium stance, you hold block, and you hold X, and he does this sort of charge. Sorry about that. The charge is sort of, how do I put this? It's got 2 hits. I'll probably have to do it on yokai or something. And the first hit knocks people flying. You know what? I'll talk about that when I actually have some people to fight. So since I want to talk about fighting yokai, I'm going to talk about fighting yokai here. Now when you're fighting trash with the axe, you want to switch to low stance, because this kind of trash, this little dude here, he could be stunned. Now what you want to do is you want to either knock him off cliffs, or you want to use the skill that you get called Cloud Crush. Follows up a common move with an upward slice. If this attack depletes an enemy's ki, it will lift them and hurl them back. So this makes it seem like it's a humanoid-only ability. That's not true. It is a great ki destroyer. It is one of the best ki destroyers the axe has, in that it has excessive ki damage that is sort of... Hang on a second, I gotta concentrate. Yeah. It has excessive ki damage that is above and beyond the damage it does, so I'm just gonna kill this bastard. No. The other reason you want to use Moveset is that when you are triggering your dash attack, and you are pressing your quick stance and mashing it out, the second hit, basically it's got really fast recovery. You really want that recovery. And when you're doing a dash attack, the slightly short range of the first hit of the quick attack isn't that important. So, I wonder if I'm actually going to get anyone looking up today. I haven't advertised this one ahead of time. I don't have a whole ton of viewers. Oh, actually, I can use this thing. Alright, so that was Stone Mallet, and if they block it, it takes all their ki. Like, he doesn't care. Like, goodbye ki. If they don't block it, it knocks them back like that. You can dash up and put them on the ground and attack. Ah, shit! Should have paid more attention. Oh, I forgot he was red. That was hilarious. I should have had my thing on. Hang on, let me get back up there. Doo-doo-doo. Damn, that was funny. As I was saying, I'm gonna like kill these bastards. That's why I like axes. So, when you're fighting something like this that has stamina, what you want to do is use your quick thing. It might not look like it did a lot, but, like, basically it did a lot. The other move that I was doing. If you want to hit the horns of these guys, and then once you've done that, you switch to high stack, and you usually have it. So you heal up, because goddamn way the demon hurts like hell. When you find these little guys, repeating the skill will reduce their ki quite a lot. This is generally a very useful ability, especially when you're fighting the guys with the tongues. They're really, really weak to this. It's probably one of the... And the other useful thing about that skill is that it has really quick recovery. So that makes it really useful. Oh shit! Alright. So here's an example. So that took quite a bit. And he's on the ground. And then the ground 7. And then as he's getting up, I can do whatever I want. Set up whatever move I want. I can even start a command spin. Pretty good time to do that because it's guaranteed kill them. All that kind of stuff. Don't worry about the fact that I'm not using too much ki. It's because I have a build set up so that I don't use much ki. I'm using a Zuno which reduces your close combat ki. When you're... all that kind of stuff. Where are these? Get through here. I didn't even know there was a dude there. I am using a Kaido axe, which gives me plus to the rubbing earth, which is why I'm using it. Hello. Let's see. Do I want to fight him? Nah, I don't feel like fighting him. Hello. What? Huh? Oh. Demonstration 2. There you go. That's a basic sort of that sequence I was doing where I was just dodging, dodging. Like when you're fighting a big enemy, you've got to time your dodge, but that is a basic sequence that will do you well against any enemy in the game. It can beat anything. Once you've lost it, once you've taken off their ki, then you do something more important. So let's knock this guy around. I'm sure. Doesn't work when they have high toughness. Ah, he's there, mate. High toughness is where the axe has problems because its ability to break through doesn't work. But you can still use. Basically, what you want to do is you want to set yourself up for toughness so that you're not knocked out of your attacks. That way, you can keep on doing damage to them. If you're having trouble actually getting an attack with the axe out, and then you're trying to find someone like that, it's not going to work. So that's why I have all these abilities to reduce my ki. And anyway, I was talking mostly about PvP. Of course, if they don't have enough toughness, they're basically, hey, mind little bastard. If they don't have enough toughness to not be hit by stuff now, then you don't really have to worry about it. Now, when you're fighting the horn guys, a really good thing is to unlock and then aim slightly to the left. And you see you hit the horns. If you're locked on here, it's very difficult to hit horns. And then you can hit them a few times, stab them, and because you're using an axe, and axes do ridiculous damage, you're probably going to wipe them out. So. Especially because when they try to get up, they're going to use a yokai pull, which is going to wipe them out. Because axes get that awesome ability to do wait, why didn't I? As you can see, it's a decent amount of ki damage. So you can use it as a quick, like it's pretty useful to use this as a sort of punish when you're up close to an enemy and you dodge. You can recover at a decent speed up. These guys you have to watch out for when you're restricted. When you give them a chance to do an attack, they can do an attack which has super armor. Also, since you'll have trouble hitting these guys with medium stance attacks, so I would recommend using them. I'd recommend using your low stance because it sort of keeps close to the ground, and I recommend using your high stance because it comes down. I want to talk about recovery. The recovery of the axe is actually quite good after the hit. It looks bad, but it's not. So being a dodger is. In fact, the medium stance is probably one of the worst ones that recover, especially that second. Oh no, that was okay. Oh, that was okay. It's just not as good as the first one. And when I talk about recovery, I mean after the hit is gone. Strong attack and high stance, you can't move too often. The whole thing is done, so that's a bit of a risk. The medium attacks you can move immediately, especially with the low. So it's a fairly good poker thing, which is kind of weird because you wouldn't expect that. You expect it to be terrible at that. Why did you? Always pull the. Oh, bloody hell! When I say pull, I mean get over here, you bastard! Oh, that hit it. I knew that was gonna hit. That's why I did that. I always think very carefully about whether I'm going to do this or not. It really depends on whether or not I think I'm gonna hit their head. Because hitting their head can do a tremendous amount of damage. Whoa. Always good to kill them if you have the chance. Oh, no. What's your buckle? Oh yeah, you can get knocked down. There you go. That's what Stone Mallet does if they can get knocked down. It can also, if that first hit will hit them in their recovery, it will work normally. You don't have to worry about whether or not it will work. So that's pretty useful. Whoa! There you go, you bastard. Okay, when you're fighting these guys, good idea to stay the hell away from them. Get away from me, you bastard. This is where I come from. Then you hit the bit on the back, and then you kill it. So everything's about knocking enemies into a vulnerable state and then using your high stance attacks. If you just use your high stance attacks off the bat, because it works so well on the trash, you're going to get creamed when you fight anything that can survive and not get stung by. You're also going to get yourself in trouble. Also, you want to learn the recovery of all your attacks. For example, Heaven and Earth has great recovery. Also, it's Titanic Strength. Probably don't use Titanic Strength as much as I should, because you can use it in any stance, and it's really powerful, but hey. Maybe I can get this guy. So with Star Mallet again. Remember that you can dodge up the Star Mallet. That's why you dash up. You've got to do it quite tightly. You don't have a lot of time to do it now. So as soon as you see it connect, you've got to smash in that dash button. It'd be nice if you can't actually... It looks like they're in a grapple state, but all it's doing is knocking them backwards and they're rolling. It's the same state that happens when you're using the dual swords and you use God of Wind. It's a vulnerable state. You can actually cancel and hit them. It'll put them immediately on the ground. It's how I cheese all the bosses. I do a boss after this. So now, when you're fighting yokai... Oh, you're so happy. Try to bait them. By and edging in. This is just a sort of weapon independent ability that you can do. Oh shit! Shouldn't have tried that. Don't try and get slow against these guys. They'll do this thing. It's a pain. Ah, come on. I'm in a bad position. I'm going to go back and restart that. The thing about the axe is that if you play in low stance and do that chipping and backing away, it's a very safe weapon. It seems like it should be all risk, but it's not. The only times I have trouble with an axe is when I have lots of enemies around me and I don't have enough time to set up. Or I don't really have, like they're doing too much damage and I can't just start mad spinning. If you don't have a lot of time, that's when it's useful to come out with the... If you don't have a lot of time, that's when it's useful to just start sort of taking a risk and madly trying to kill things as quickly as possible, because you can do a ton of damage with the axe when you've got it. That guy's out of the way, that guy's done. So setting up your moves like that is a pretty useful ability. Plus it's trash, so this is going to be more trash. Although you don't want to forget to keep it. Hey you! Thought I was far enough around I wouldn't leave you here, but... Oh, how cute. I don't feel like playing your games today. If you want to apply an elemental effect with an axe, again, this is the string to start with when the enemies are very dangerous. This is a really good applier though, because the elemental damage is based on the base damage of your weapon. So when you're applying an effect, you want to be able to do quite a lot. I'm going to sneak up on this bastard because I don't feel like fighting him. Because I hate him. Him and his little children too. Wait a minute. I don't have the right effect. Oh, I've got battle focus on. Sorry, I thought I had rage. Rage is a really useful ability for stealth because it'll boost your damage. And if you do kill enemies in one hit, you don't have to worry about. There's an enemy around here. I remember that from somewhere. That one. Okay. you want to be able to block well, it's important to get guard damage on it, because axes have terrible parry, and parry is the base attribute that determines whether an axe can block. So by that I mean, let's go over that in a bit more detail. Parry, it's got 33. That affects how much ki is lost when blocking an enemy attack, says right there. They're terrible. Break, it affects how severely an enemy's guard is broken. I actually think that has something to do with stunning them, but I haven't confirmed that by testing. I'm not actually sure that it affects their because I'm pretty sure they use block and guard, because as I said before, guard, but then they use guard key reduction, and guard key reduction affects block, but no guard break affects getting stunned. So I don't bloody know what they're doing with these descriptions. So let's just stop that before I get lost in the theory. I'm gonna fight this one. Hey! Alright, so these guys have got quite quick attacks. Should have done that. Got me killed if I had lower life. That ain't working. Dashing out with a high stance, coming back in and doing a low stance string, and then dashing out again is pretty useful. You want to be careful about using your Heaven and Earth things, because Heaven and Earth takes a long time to come out, and it's likely that they'll smack you. I'm not just talking about having tons of strength and defense when I'm talking about all this. I'm trying to talk about how to use the moveset even if you don't have any toughness at all, which means not getting hit. Yes, I saw you. This one, by the way, even if you don't have the Kaido axe and Yasani Magatama, or you don't have the Kaido armor, so you don't have the 30% damage, this does a tremendous amount of damage. So if you can time this to hit this, you'll take humongous chunks of ki off even really large enemies. And it has range, so it's not. So you can hit that thing behind me over here. So it's not that you have to be right up in their face to use it, making it fairly useful. Ah, he's gonna come. Look, it took us almost all of its. It did more ki damage than that. Bloody zombies. They're all bloody. What's the word? What's that famous movie? Exorcist zombies crawling around on the rooftops. Oh shit! I was waiting for the regular skeleton. Ah, bugger! Fight you. Get slowed. This is what you do. Well done, actually. Should have used that earlier. Instead of doing the Heaven and Earth, I should have just started the mad spin and killed him. Screw that up. Yes, just because you're using axe doesn't mean you shouldn't be using the same sort of defensive thinking as you use with any other weapon. I'm getting hit by all the stuff I normally don't get hit by. Bad, very bad. The axe requires you to use the same thought process as any other weapon. It's just because it's got overwhelming power in some circumstances doesn't mean oh, not you. Whoa, they paralyzed me. Not expect. That was you. Must be because he was red. Must be random effects. I don't really pay attention to those effects, so that's probably bad. Now I was talking about using Echo before. I'm gonna equip that. Echo, he does extra damage on strong attacks. Strong attack key reduction break is very useful. A good secondary spirit is to equip what's his face? Narrow counter tanking when you get up to him, because he also increases strong attack damage and he gives you a bit of everlasting key, which is a chance to, when you get knocked down to zero key, to, or to, when you use zero key, to not use it. I've already got 33% on 2 pieces of armor, so I get something like 87% chance with these two equipped. So with this, what you want to be using is all the cool stuff. Wait, bugger up. I'm not coming to you. I'm not coming near you. I'm not an idiot. Come on. Come on. Do your flame. Come on. Flame time. Not that. Not what I want. Yeah, hit that thing, you moron. Hello. How's it going? Always good to use that when they're getting up, because the get up animation for a yokai takes so long. I talked straight for the start of this, so I've already gone over a lot of stuff that I'm probably not going to cover again, because I want to turn this into a bit of a... That missed completely. I feel like I haven't played much of it, and I got a lot of lag, and I'm in Australia, so I don't really get to fight anymore. I've never really been hugely impressed with PvP in Australia. I think we don't have enough population. Or maybe I'm just better than I don't know. Yeah, come on. Now these guys you've got to be a bit careful of, because they've got their range in their attacks. So what you want to do is get behind them as much as possible. Whoops. Don't want to do that. Strip their key. Oh, come on. I'll tell her you can just kill the boss. You've got to wait for the hero. Oh, this is a good idea to carry salt, because a lot of weapons can quickly pull out their attack to because salt available to everyone. It's really laggy. They use hit detection on client side, so you'll if you hit on your side, it doesn't matter what they see. So everybody zips all over the place. You kind of not gotta sort of. You've got to be predicting what they're gonna see, rather than what. And then you also have to hit them yourself. It's. I mean, I'm used to lag being in Australia, so it's not too bad for me. Ah, these guys I have trouble with an axe. I'll tell you that right now. It is a pain to kill these guys. You've really gotta work hard, because the axe's got such a rage. Okay, they make me so angry. I'm trying to fight one of these guys. Where is that thing? I can hear you. Oh dear. Triggered something. Somewhere. Or not. What did I trigger? Ah. I need to upgrade my weapons. Come on. Don't kill me. I'm friendly. Ah. Oh wow. That was a lot of damage. I'm trying to hit his head. There you go. That's why I want to carry something, so you can get rid of all these damn pools of pressing blood. Yeah, this should be doing it. Where is it? There it is. Oh dear. I have a friend. Ooh, hey, he's a fucking yes, he is! There you go. Good old first hit of Mallet. The second hit, if it hits them, will only do a normal hit stun. So you've got to be quite close to do it, which can be a little difficult to figure out. But it's such a good ability. You can also do again. Again, I have tons of critical health reduction abilities. I've got like 2 or 3, possibly even 4. I'm not sure. Depends on my accessory. So I really don't take much. I was supposed to be showing strong attacks too. I haven't actually been doing anything. I don't actually use the strong attacks too much because they've been so crap for so long. I haven't gotten used to their better properties yet. So let's try and get this out. Alright. Oh, I want to show one thing. When you are stealthing and you're fighting one of these guys, it's really, really tempting to think that there's nothing you can do here. What you've got to do, and this is slightly difficult, you've got to set it up so that... Let me just judge this. You want that to hit on their head. It will do a lot. Good thing about stealth, they can't see you no matter what you do in front of them. So you can spend as much time as you need thinking about it. Bam. Now if you're on a lower difficulty, that will probably straight up kill them. Hey, what? Triggered that zombie. Actually, that would have killed them if I had Kato probably. Because all these bonuses are multiplicative. Whoops! Thought he hadn't seen me. Thought he'd lost interest. That's a combo I like to use. I'm trash. That's the kill them. You start doing your strings. Because the first hit of the string is really fun. It just comes out. Bang. So the first hit of the quick string in low stance is a very useful ability. Yeah, what? Let's play this. Goodbye! There's nobody here. Ghetto stealth. Fake stealth. Hi! Thank you! Always feel free to start a bad spitter when they're low on health and they've just done something stupid. Very useful. Right. Nah, I think I've shut enough how to get it. So Madspinner is not something you need as much as you need battle focus. The difference between having that was without battle focus. Now if I quit battle focus, turn it on. The difference is remarkable. There's very few things that will survive that. So you really don't need your superpowered that buffs the build or whatever. You just need an opportunity and you need battle focus. It's pretty easy to start that. I use Madspinner a lot just because it's cool. I want to talk about not rumbling earth. I want to talk about Earthcover because Earthcover was kind of interesting. I don't know if they've changed it. I don't know if I have enough enemies left to show this on, but I've got some other fights I want to show. So. Oh boy. Ah, shit. Don't use the big heaven on earth. This is faster than heaven on earth, so we don't have much time. Get out again. Whereas if you try to go high stance into heaven on earth, that takes longer than just doing straight up. Dashing in and doing titanic strength. So it's a pretty good oh, I didn't know there was one there. I want to make sure I get this one. Wow, shit. I don't have only pizza or whatever. Oh, okay, this boss is going to be annoying. So I'm just going to... Anti-paralytic needles. When you get paralyzed, you put these on. Probably should re-go and re-equip Kato, but I'm just gonna go like this. If I die, whatever. I'll laugh. Right, so when you're fighting her, what you need to do is you need to get her out of pools of her stuff. So if you don't have a lot of equipment or gear, or that sounds like a pain in the ass. Bring salt. So I will equip salt now. Now when she makes a pool, throw it at her. And that's that. She ain't got no more pool. So you do one, and you do one. You can sometimes get 2 strings off, which is like a bunch of it. Also be careful when she uses his first hit. She's big. AI is Jake. She didn't have that before. That's a new move. Cool. It's a lot more dangerous. It's actually quite open after that. Now you do your heaven and earth. And then you get the hell out of there, and then you hit her again. If you're gonna do a mad spinner against it, you want to make sure that you only do a small one. You don't do a long one. I'm sucky at avoiding that. Gosh. I think I'm trying to kill it. Man, that was interesting. She's really changed their AI. They gave her that new poke attack that I don't remember from previous playthroughs. Cool. Don't be afraid to use your items if you have to. That's what they're there for. That's why they drop off everything. Salt is everywhere. Alright, I'm gonna do a more. I want to try and show one of those tonguey guys. Can't remember where they rock up. Should be one here. Actually, I want to fight humans. Let's fight some humans because they require a approach. There it is. I like this mission. Because it's got lots of ninjas. They're a pain in the butt. They're hard to hit with the axe. So I'm going to show off Roar and against the ninjas. Not Roar. Yeah, it's Roar. The other ability that you get at the medium stance that you can use to chase down. Because that's pretty cool. Oh, something I should say about Stone Mallet again is the... it can turn in any direction while you're doing it. So you can see it's got full directional control. Shush me, buddy. I'm talking. It's not that useful, but because it's so short range. But this one is better because it's a full charge, so you can turn completely on. The reason I don't like this move as much is because when you're hitting enemies with it, you're a bit vulnerable because it takes a lot longer for it to end, basically. When you're doing this move, it doesn't end until after that attack that it did. It does the slash, and you can end it early just by letting go or pressing an attack button. It doesn't matter what you do. So you can actually, the quickest way to get it out is to hold like the ending attack. The quickest way to get the ending attack out is to hold L1, sorry, block, and X, then mash one of the attack buttons. And that'll get it out really quick. So that's really useful. That's a good way to get it out. That's if you want to use it as a stun. Right, so this thing. This thing can stun enemies. And if you put them on the ground, you've got to be careful because it won't always knock to do. And it can also knock them out of what they're doing. And you've got to follow them. And it's difficult to follow up on it, which is why I prefer Stone Mallet. It's less of a pain in the ass. Stay away. I will slowly kill you. Oh, you're gonna be clever, are you? Clever with this. Oh, he's gonna be this clever. Yeah. He's too fast. So I'm actually not that used to using Roar because I don't like it. It tends to knock them out of the state and stuff like that. I think it probably has slightly more use in PvP because it'll keep going, and as soon as they finish a recovery, it'll knock them out of their attack. Because there's actually short periods of vulnerability in between the recovery of all attacks. You can hit them in between. It's only when, I think only not all attacks, some combos. I think fast combos don't have many. But I know I've been knocked out of in between axe attacks, and I know I've been knocked out of in between sword, Odachi, and Kusa. That's fine, Dicky. I don't mind. I'm making it more for an archival purpose, and as an excuse to have a stream. I want to really get some explanation of axe out there, because I don't really have a problem with this thing. Alright, so I want to get my proper gear back on. Hang on. I like to use this, the Makabishi, because it slows enemies' movement speed without slowing their attacks, so it's not quite as stupid as Slot. That was actually luck. Oh, he's good. Alright. I'm trying to do a demonstration here. What you want to do with these guys? You want to get behind them here. Get behind them in the right spot. And they will repeat their move repeatedly. I don't know how to trigger it for sure. But otherwise, you just want to sort of dodge that at the right time. There we go. Once you get them in the right spot, then you can repeatedly do this because it has enough recovery to dash out in between. Oh, there it is. I didn't do it right there. I was too busy fucking around trying to get the animation. I think that's enough for a focused axe video. I want to show one of the tongue guys, but I don't know where to find them. Back here. Oh, what a great roar that was. Yeah. This is your workhorse for most of the game. Humanoids game. Oh, I should show that on the floor. Let's destroy what's his face. Thingy of the East. Let's obliterate that guy. It's always fun. It's funny to do that. I'll end it on that. Because this is a great way to take out bosses. You've just got to watch that they're not in one of their... that they don't have their super thing out. The... Guardian Spirit. You've got to watch they don't have that out. If they have that out, it's problematic. Guardian of the East. Where are you, lady? Oh, I'm going to swap back to Kato. Guardian Spirit. Kato. And then after this, I'm going to talk a little bit about the... Hang on. Let me cut straight. I'll talk a little bit about using it in stealth. Like, there's a few tricks to it. There we go. Champion. Let's kick this guy's ass. I like using this guy because he's kind of slow. Now, there are some attacks where they can just sort of super armor through it, but it's I don't know why, but they don't seem to have the capability of people with high toughness to just ignore it. So you gotta, for some reason, after I've noticed that when they've had a boss go through multiple iterations, like the alpha, the beta, and all that, and people kept finding cheap ways to beat them, they made them stronger, which is why Tachibana is such an asshole now. Whoa, he's ignoring. So if you just hit with that one, the second hit, it'll just stun him, and you can use that time to hit. Oh dear, here he goes. He's got his key on. This is when you want to switch to the low state. Oh, if you got him in the corner, it's a bit difficult because they will... Get over here! Oh, you big rat. That would have broken him and I only had a big hit. Oh, that knocked him out. Yeah, I mean, I don't even have plus 20 armor. I don't have plus 20 weapons either. I've got pretty good weapons, but I don't have plus 20 ones. 192 plus 12. Plus 11, plus 12, plus 30. No. I don't have a maxed out really. So you could definitely do better. I mean, if I had proper weapons and stuff, I bet you I could. But yeah, even a big dude like that can get knocked flying by Stone Mallet. He doesn't care. It's just that if you hit with the second hit, it can cancel it and do funky things. But that first hit, once it hits and they go flying, it's great. It's great for farming Marabushi actually, because none of those guys have heavy enough armor to stop it except the axe guy, and even he. You can hit him in his recovery, so you can send him flying as well, so you can actually just chain them to death. I don't have it unlocked on Way the Demon. I could show him Way the Strong. It'll be kind of, you know, silly, but I'll do that as a finisher. Because I've got much more powerful stuff than Way. And then I'll move on to doing the stealth stuff, so anyone who's just here for the combat stuff, leave with my blessing. So Marabushi, where was Marabushi? I forgot where it is. Crap. Marabushi. Maybe that was a second. Actually, I might make a second video for stealth. So once I've done this, I'll just do a second video for stealth. That way I can break them up, because YouTube doesn't let me edit my videos for some reason. It's being a pain. I just want to do a full stealth focus video. I'm going to do that next week. All about stealth. That'd be better than just trying to do a half-hearted weapon. Wait for it. And just like Bloodborne, if you're gonna dash past them, what you want to do is you want to dash past them. Most of the time. what? If you had key boosters on your weapon, you just wipe out anything you do. Any key that happens to go on the dreadnought. In PvP, this works reasonably well, actually. You'd be surprised. But I've hit a few people, but again, it's risky, so it's much better against traditional PvP. You're a pain. Oops, I screwed it up. Wow, wow, does he not have 200 customers or something? Jeez. I got him in the middle of his attacks. Good old stone mentalities there. I might be doing it too early and raising that second because they're still getting up. He had a proper damage from his axe. You obliterate these guys. By the way, I'm just going to show this at the end. Do not try the bloody wall. Lance spinners. They block it out. And you're left with no key, and you're basically screwed. So just don't do it. Bad idea. Use your strengths. Strengths. Right. So that's the end of this video. Next week I think I'll do a proper stealth video where I go into everything I know about stealth, because I know quite a lot about stealth now with different weapons. And there's a lot of little tricks you can use. So yes, thank you for watching.